man tells me to straighten out. He says the way I've been living puts my soul in doubt. Call me a lot of things, but not divide. Preacher man says straighten out. He says the way I've been living puts my soul in doubt.
From the Blue Door in beautiful Culver City, ArtsUP LA presents
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's Up LA?
What's up, LA?
What's Up LA? What's Up LA?
What's up, LA?
What's up, LA? Welcome to the July episode of What's Up, LA.
Your guide to everything that's happening in the LA arts community. And
Happy Disability Pride Month!
Month!
What's that, you say? Thanks for asking. Listen up, Disability Pride Month is observed annually in July. It commemorates the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act on July 26, 1990. The ADA prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities in areas such as employment, education, transportation, and public accommodations.
ArtsUP is an organization founded on the principles of accessibility and inclusivity, so it makes sense that we take this month seriously. The main purpose of Disability Pride Month is to celebrate achievements, contributions, and experiences of people with disabilities.
In addition to raising awareness about disability rights and issues, challenging stereotypes and misconceptions about people with disabilities, and promoting inclusion and accessibility for all.
Keyword all, A-L-L. So, happy Disability Pride Month to all our participants of programs like Theater by the Blind and to all of you watching at home.
That's why the first thing we're going to cover in this episode are some of our colleagues and former ArtsUP LA collaborators working hard towards inclusivity in film.
We sat down with legally blind actor, award-winning producer, writer, director, and co-host of the Darkroom podcast, Lee Pugsley. He's doing a panel at the Academy Museum in LA titled Disabilities in Film, the Impact of Representation.
Lee will be part of a panel of distinguished professionals and advocates as they explore the impact of authentic disability representation in film,
The current state of disabled talent in front of and behind the camera,
parts of the industry that still need improvement in accommodating people with disabilities,
and how to support the disabled community.
and Nina got a chance to sit down with Lee. Let's take a look.
Lee Pugsley, actor, director, producer, podcast host. What else do you do?
That's a great introduction, and so I'm happy to be here, Nina. I think you covered all of that. I guess we can add writing to that. I do screenplay writing as well.
Disabilities in Film, the Impact of Representation. You're going to be in stellar company. Can you tell me how you guys met?
Yeah, so I actually know Chrissy Marshall, who's a deaf filmmaker. She's wonderful through the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge, which I entered a film into last year, which won Best Film. She was the Best Film winner of the Disability Film Challenge the year before. And so just through different events and workshops that we were both participating in last year, we got to become pretty good friends. And I really got to see just the caliber of talent and creativity that she has to offer. And then Rose, I recently just met because she is the one that will be moderating this panel. And, she has a lot of really good qualifications. And I'm really excited to be a part of this panel with her moderating as well. And then there's another guest that we have, Elaine Hall, who is a filmmaker and co-founder of the 4-in-1 Coalition and founder and executive artistic director of the Miracle Project. So she's very involved within the disabled community as well. So it's going to be just a really important conversation to be had, and I'm really honored to be a part of it.
In the end, we are artists, and yes, we do it for the sake of art, but it would also be great to make a living doing what we do, and the more opportunities to have authentic roles that get us paid to do what we love to do is everybody wins,
Exactly. Exactly. I feel the same way. Like you said, a win for anyone within the community is a win for everyone because it's only going to advance and progress the impact further. And, the beautiful thing about art, too, is art in any form can be so powerful. It does have the power to make people think differently, to shift perspectives, to introduce people to new walks of life and new ways of just living that maybe they have never thought about, but that are just so beautiful and so fun and so interesting and so valuable.
Yeah, it's about having the power to do what you love despite of your circumstances.
Exactly. And I think you hit it on the head right there that, it's so empowering, it's so empowering to be seen and to be seen through art and to have those authentic voices out there and know that people are hearing them, they're caring, and they're giving us a sense of belonging, because at the end of the day, as human beings, that's what we all look for is just that sense of belonging and, wanting people to see us, honestly. Exactly. I know we all have busy schedules. Well, the good thing is that the panel on July 11th at the Academy Museum will be from noon to 1 p.m. So it's going to be a pretty brief hour, but also I would want to say a meaty hour. So from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And, we're just going to cover things like, what is the impact of disability representation of film? What's the current state of disability representation, both on screen and behind the camera? We'll discuss, ways that we can improve to accommodate people with disabilities, both, on and off camera, and then just ways that people can come alongside and support the disabled community. And, these are the conversations that we should be having because a lot of people, they either just don't think about disability representation or they just don't know what to do with it. Like there are people that I meet in the filmmaking world who want to support the disabled community, but they're afraid that they're going to ask the wrong question or they just don't know what to do. And so I think this will be a really great time for education. There'll be some time at the end for an audience Q&A. And yeah, I just love these conversations because I always tell people the first way to get change implemented is to start to dialogue about it. Let's just dialogue about it and give people an opportunity to learn, give people an opportunity to understand and to ask questions. And, I also have things to learn from other people as well. It's not just me sitting on a panel, having all the answers. I don't have all the answers.
I wanted to thank you, Lee, so much for your time. This was so, I'm starting my week off right, thanks to you. I learned so much. I want to reiterate for everybody watching, please don't miss this incredible panel, Disabilities in Film, at the Academy Award Museum on July 11th at noon. I will see you there, Lee. And yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. A pleasure to be here.
Visitors are encouraged to explore the museum's schedule of accessible screenings and programs before or after the program. So the best two birds, one stone situation you'll find in all of July.
If you can't make it, and don't worry, I'll be there and I will be taking color-coded notes. You can see the highlights of the Disabilities in Film panel and the feature I'm preparing for August episode.
Up next...
No. I want to do this part because I'm happy for you. Up next, Bryan Caldwell is coming back to the stage.
Oh, come on, Nina. That's not how I'd put it. It's an ensemble piece.
Bryan, I respect freedom of speech, but I am going to talk over you because you're going to play it down, and this is a big deal. Bryan Caldwell, Executive Director of ArtsUP and co-host of this show, will be acting in The Way Station, a new play by Donnie Jarman here at the Blue Door, opening on July 18th.
And so will you.
Yes, but I can't help it. I'm an actress. I do it everywhere I can. You don't do it often enough. So I'm glad to see you back at it.
Yes, an all-star team of participants from different programs, including some bright new stars, bring to life the world premiere of The Way Station, an original play by local playwright Donnie Jarman and directed by Nobreus.
It is a beautiful thing, but I like the part where it's the first play my co-host has acted in over 2 years.
Well, thank you for the hype, co-host. Hope you won't be disappointed.
No, I won't. Are you off book yet?
Let's not talk about that. I don't want to get into trouble. Instead, take a look at what the director and writer of The Way Station had to say about the show.
Nobreus. I am directing a play called Way Station by Donnie Jarman, and we're doing it here at the Blue Door Theater for ArtsUP LA in Culver City on Venice Blvd. I saw a staged reading of the play, and only the first act, and it was such good writing and such compelling. Like, it was really enticing. And I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. When the end of the first act kind of left us on a good cliffhanger. And I was like, but I wonder if they can pull it off. Because, like, I write a lot and I do a lot of this stuff. And I know that pulling off, if you have built up the first act into a big kind of a cliffhanger, to pull that off, not many people can when it comes from a writing perspective. To write that so well that it really pays off is hard. And then I got to read the second act, and I was like, oh my God, he pulled it off. He really made it work. And that blew my mind, and I was like, I would love to direct this piece. And I talked with Donnie, and lo and behold, here we are. Now I'm directing it, and I'm very excited for it because it's a very strong play. It has some theme stuff. It's a little triggering for sure.
I was gonna ask about the themes without spoiling.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think are the main themes that are explored in this play for somebody who's only seen like the poster and has no
idea.
clue?
Which is probably everybody.
Exactly.
What we have is so theater itself. I'll be quick, but theater itself is here to try and help people both change their life to a better place, into a better state, but also like old school theater and mythology. What we usually talk about is how old school theater is made, and I'm talking about old school, like the Greek stuff, and which was meant to help people feel normal, like they fit in, like they are okay, like they actually function. So this play, feels a lot like one of the big classics that we can look at. There's a play called No Exit by Jean-Paul Sartre, and there are other big writers, Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, Sam Shepard. When I read this play or other plays by Donnie, they always remind me of the classical writers. And this play in particular is about how to be truthful to yourself, and what do we need to release in order to be able to move on in life. What are those things? So it's a very, very insightful and healing play, and that's part of why I'm so grateful to be a part of it, because I really love when we can help people feel better, feel uplifted, feel like there's hope, feel like there's something new around the corner where we can grow. And I feel like this play does that.
Hi, I'm Donnie Jarman. I'm the playwright of Waystation, being produced by ArtsUP LA, and we are going to be running for a couple weeks starting July 18th in Culver City at the Blue Door. And we're doing a little prep, as you can see. We kind of built the bar in my carport. Talked to Bryan and said, where are we going to get the bars? Well, I've done a couple of these, so playwright, bar builder. I've been kicking out a whole bunch of plays really fast lately. As I'm getting into my 60s, I'm like, time for let's just write really excited. Wrote about 5 plays last year. One of my new ones this year, I wrote in January this year, is Waystation. Marcus, the director, got a hold of it and loved it, and Bryan got a hold of it and said, hey, let's do it at the theater, and we brought Marcus aboard, and we're tearing it up. Was sitting around, I guess, first part of January, and I wanted to work on something new, and I wrote a bar play about in the early 90s called Nine Ball, and I hadn't written a bar play, and I said, I want to write another play, it takes place at a bar. So I get these people talking, and then all of a sudden this teenage girl walks in and she's bartending, and I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. So I just kind of followed it, and I'm not going to tell you anything else about the play, but there's some real interesting intrigue because it takes place in a bar, but it might not, and Charlie is the bartender, but maybe not. So we've had a lot of fun with it. The cast is unbelievable, and we're having a blast, and I think I'm going to go back to building another table.
Don't miss the Waystation at the Blue Door Theater in Culver City from July 18 to 27. Tickets, artsupla.org.
And let's go community calendar.
Variety Night, July 28th. Join us for a showcase of Los Angeles artists workshopping their art at Variety Night, Blue Door Theater, last Monday of the month.
Downtown Culver City presents the Summer Sunset Music Series on Thursday evenings beginning on July 17th at 7 p.m. in Town Plaza at the Culver Steps. The free family-friendly series will run until Thursday evenings until August 28th.
Saturday Movies in the Park. This July, get ready for a blockbuster summer with movies in the parks, surprise park pop-ups, and a whole lot more as we celebrate Parks Make Life Better Month in Culver City.
Well, we're done for today. That's it for the July episode of What's Up LA. Remain on the lookout and expect updates of what independent artists are working on this summer on our social media at ArtsUP LA across all platforms.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of our community and for supporting the independent arts in Los Angeles. Have a happy and safe 4th of July.
Till next time, I'm Brian Caldwell.
I'm Nina Rentel.
And that's What's Up.
I grew up in Connecticut, working class. Not white trash, more like white recycling. Yeah, still garbage, just cleaner. Rinse first. I'm Generation X. Gen X isn't, I know, I look like a young millennial. but I am indeed Generation X, and we grew up different. We did. We didn't have all the labels like the kids have today. No, when I was growing up, you were gay, straight, or Prince. Those were the options in the 80s. We grew up different. I remember I would come home from elementary school, like 9, 10 years old, and I would go in the garage, I would hop up on a garbage can and grab a key off the latch, let myself in the house, and I would wait for my mom to get home. It was cute. They called us latchkey kids. Yeah, today there's a new term for it. It's called child neglect.